The Imperial Galactic Council convenes to mock an unidentified vessel near the fringes of their domain. What starts as strategic boredom turns into strained silence. A lone human ship, silent and unregistered, defies everything they know. Then moves like nothing they've ever seen. The Council's golden chamber shimmered with authority, walls etched in star maps, their surface glowing softly like breathing embers. Every member seated on the crystalline dais radiated confidence, arrogance even. They had ruled for 12,000 years, unbroken, undefeated. Blip. High strategist Verna clicked his talons, zooming in on the projection, is not one of ours, nor one of the trade vassals. It does not emit any known beacon. Chancellor Keel didn't even glance up from his wine. Then it's a pirate. Remove it. Another counselor smirked. Or a malfunctioning cargo husk. Let it drift. The chamber chuckled, but the AI liaison, an unusually silent observer called R7V, didn't laugh. Its single red eye blinked. Once and then again. It was just one ship, R7V said flatly, but it entered at light fracture speed and is now accelerating. That silenced them. Accelerating? Keel sat up, finally curious. Beyond what threshold? Beyond. Sixth fold, R7V answered, unassisted. Now the laughter dried. No ship, not even the Empire's finest dreadnoughts, could push beyond fourth fold unaided. Not without bending into quantum implosion. Is this some kind of cloak test? One muttered, no, Vernick said, eyes narrowing. No one schedules tests near the Forno's rim. That sector's blacklisted. No resources, no reason. Then who built it? Keel demanded. R7V paused. Unknown. It does not broadcast. It does not respond. It does not slow. And ... Yes? It scanned us, briefly, then altered its course toward the nearest relay satellite. A quiet shift, an emotional drop. Something unspoken gripped the room. Not fear yet, but its quieter cousin, doubt. Intercept it, Keel ordered. Now. A junior tactician nodded, issuing commands. Deploying 3 interceptor phantoms. Estimated engagement in 6 minutes. They all watched. As if gathered around a fire, 3 golden darts shot across the galactic curtain. Fast, invisible, lethal. Born from Empire labs after centuries of perfect war. The human ship, if it was human, didn't flinch. Didn't pivot. Didn't blink. It was just one ship, Vernock whispered, as if trying to convince himself. The interceptors vanished. No explosion. No signal. No cry for help. Just ... gone. Telemetry? Someone asked. No answer? Echoes? Silence. Did they engage or? Nothing. Then R7V turned its head unnaturally slow, as if afraid of its own report. They didn't fire. All 3 lost contact at the same millisecond. The moment they closed to within 1.3 clicks, Keel rose. Not in anger, but something colder. Fire the dreadnought, he said. Now, the dreadnought Veil Turek was a titan, more than 4 kilometers long, bristling with graviton lances and void disruptors. Enough to level moons. Its approach lit the screen like a sun being born. And yet, the strange ship did not run. It did not dodge. It did not even acknowledge the dreadnought. Instead, it slowed. Finally, and turned. Its orientation has changed, R7V whispered. It's facing us now. You mean facing our dreadnought, Vernick corrected. No, the AI replied. Us, the Council. A single pulse emitted from the vessel. No explosion, just ... light. Pure, directional light. It touched the Veil Turek. Like a kiss. And the dreadnought ... disassembled. No fire. No scream, just silence. as if it had never been there. The chamber erupted. Screams. Warnings. Half the counselors stood. One fainted. Kyel dropped his wine. What was that? He barked. A directed particle thread, R7V said, voice shaking. Too focused to be natural. Too precise. It only touched our metal. Not the moons. Not the satellites. Meaning? It. Knew. Suddenly the room was cold. Somehow. Vurnok, once smug, now pale and sweating, muttered, "It was just one ship." The projection zoomed in. The vessel was black, matte, smooth. It had no insignia, no color, but on its hull, barely visible, were scratches. Letters. Human letters. One counselor squinted and read it aloud. Ses antithesis. Earth? Someone gasped. They haven't even reached half our territory. Exactly, said R7V. That's what makes this worse. The ship began broadcasting again, not to the Council, not to the Empire, to the Galaxy. One message. Text only. Plain, brutal. This was a warning. Stand down, or we finish the job you started. No one spoke. Even the AI was quiet, until R7V softly added, and that was before Earth even responded. Aboard a remote human outpost, Corporal Jake Mendez receives the encrypted feed showing the alien dreadnought vanishing, and his reaction is not panic, but something darker. Through casual banter and quiet tension, we see how deeply humanity changed in the shadows of galactic arrogance. They were underestimated. By design. Yo, Jake, wake up. Corporal Mendez cracked open one eye and stared at the comms officer hovering over him with a mug of steaming synth coffee. Is it food time or wartime? Little bit of both, Private Sato said, grinning. Command just pushed and all systems quiet. Encrypted order. Black Channel 7. Jake sat up fast. Black Channel 7 hadn't been used since Earth nuked its own moon base to trap a rogue AI, and now it was glowing red on his console. He took the mug, sipped, and muttered, "Okay, so who did we piss off this time?" Sato shrugged. No details, but whatever it was, they're scared. Council level scared. Jake pulled his boots on. Galactic Council? Sato nodded. Word is, they just lost a dreadnought. Jake froze mid-lace. Wait, we have dreadnoughts? No. Dumbass. They lost it. The Vile Turak. Jake whistled low. That thing's older than most planets, and they lost it? Gone. Like ... puff. Sato mimed an explosion, then a flicker with his fingers. One ship. One human ship did it. And it wasn't even broadcasting. Jake's face didn't change, not with shock. With recognition. They thought we were behind, he said softly, almost like remembering an old joke. What? Jake stood, walked toward the viewing deck, the long transparent panel that stared into the cold, scattered belt of forgotten satellites and war trash. His boots echoed across the steel. You ever read Project Lazarus? He asked. Sato blinked. The myth thing? About hiding tech in civilian cargo ships? It wasn't a myth. He tapped the glass twice, then stared through it as if searching for something that wasn't there anymore. You know why the Empire never really invaded Earth? Jake asked. They said it was a protected cultural preserve. Jake smirked. No, that's what we let them believe. Down in Subdeck 4, the reactor's AI core flickered with more heat than usual. Runes etched into black circuitry glowed red instead of green. Jake noticed. We running hot? He asked the wall. The AI's voice responded, soft, female, tired, flux. Readings nominal. External scans ... not so much. Jake raised an eyebrow. Define not so much. There's a listening drone just outside our debris perimeter. Empire origin. No broadcast. Passive mode. Sato paled. You think it's scouting? Jake shook his head. No, that's a relic. It's not looking for us. It's trying to understand what it just saw. Bring up the incident feed. Jake said. A private, untraceable military relay opened. They watched, just like the Council had, as the human ship turned to face the dreadnought. They saw the flash, the disappearance. The silence. No sound. Just power, Sato whispered. What? The hell kind of tech does that? Jake didn't answer. Instead, he whispered, antithesis. Sato turned. What? That's the ship's name. SS Antithesis. One of 3 built during the silence. You mean the blackout period? No exports, no comms, no data for 19 years? Jake nodded. Yeah, that's silence. While the Empire thought we were licking our wounds, we were building weapons no one understood, not even us. But why stay quiet? Why not use them before? Jake looked down at his coffee. They thought we were behind, he said again. Back in Earth's orbit, hundreds of hidden stations began waking up, not with fanfare, with focus codes locked. Encryption layers peeled open. Dormant AI woke, blinking once, then twice, just like R7V had done. The antithesis wasn't alone. It was the first. Jake turned from the feed and looked Sato dead in the eyes. Tell me what you feel right now. Sato hesitated. Excited. A little scared, maybe. I mean, this changes everything. Jake shook his head. No, that's not what you're feeling. You just don't have the words for it yet. He pointed to the now paused projection of the Alien Council's golden chamber. You're feeling calm. That's the scary part. Sato blinked. You mean because we didn't panic? Jake nodded. That was their best ship, their best minds, and we erased it without flinching. He leaned in. Imagine what comes next. Somewhere near Saturn's shadow orbit, a cold storage unit hissed open, a sarcophagus-like box thawing. Inside, a pilot opened his eyes. On his wrist, the same scratches as the ship's hull. Antithesis 2 code name. Fracture? Target? He whispered through frost. The AI answered, Wait for the scream. Back on the station, Jake tapped the console and opened a comm line, not to Earth Command. To someone else. A personal line, deep-coded and hidden. A woman answered. Her voice was fire and winter mixed. I saw the feed, she said. What now? Jake asked. She didn't respond for 5 long seconds. Then, softly, we never declared war. Jake leaned forward. Then what did we declare? And she whispered, we just ... stopped asking. In a desperate bid to avoid further humiliation, the Empire sends its most revered diplomat, the voice of the Empire, to negotiate with the unknown human force. The aliens rely on protocol, superiority, and words. But humanity answers in a way the Empire has never encountered before, with silence, precision, and psychological collapse. Counselor Iran hadn't slept in 70 hours. Not because of war, not because of rebellion, but because of absence. The kind of silence that crushes. No response from the dreadnought. No final telemetry. Just ... erasure, a void in space and in memory. As if the Empire's most revered weapon had been swallowed by reality itself. They didn't even get to hear it scream. Now, Iran stood inside the hall of projection, surrounded by 14 counselors, 2 war AI, and a single floating diamond-shaped craft. The voice of the Empire. The voice didn't have a name. Didn't need one. It had spoken for the Empire during 1,000 negotiations. It had quelled rebellions with a sentence, stopped armadas with a phrase. Its tongue was coded and layered. Harmonics designed to trigger subconscious compliance. Its words weren't arguments. They were law. We do not negotiate with primitives, said Counselor Drawl, voice tight. This is not negotiation, Aaron said quietly. It's containment. The voice drifted forward. Coordinates received, it said. Language pattern, human English. Emotional baseline, suppressed vengeance. Threat rating, ascending, Drawl scoffed. They hide behind dramatic flair. Yet they erased a dreadnought, Aaron snapped. With no emotion at all. The voice tilted slightly. Permission to engage? Use everything, Aaron said. Charm, threat, history. Bribe them with what they worship. Words were always our first weapon. The voice dimmed its central glow, turned, and vanished into the black. 5 hours later, aboard the SS Antithesis, no alarm sounded, no lights blinked. No weapons rose. The voice materialized, hovering calmly just outside its hull, broadcasting. On all frequencies, not with anger, not with submission, but with curated, perfect diplomacy. You have acted with brilliance. You have awakened fear. You have struck down a symbol of imperial arrogance, and for that we honor you. No response. The voice continued. The Empire proposes recognition. A truce. A corridor of understanding. We offer you access to our archives, to our fleets, to our history, to share the burden of this galaxy together. Still, nothing. No signal. No scan. Not even a hum. The Antithesis floated in perfect, terrifying stillness. Back in the council chamber, the silence made some twitch. Are they ignoring us? Drawl hissed. R7V spoke slowly. Analyzing frequency modulation. No hidden channel. They're not redirecting the signal. They're not blocking it. Aaron's breath caught. Then what are they doing? The AI's eye glowed dimly. They're listening. The voice tried again, its tone more assertive now, gently insistent. Do not make the mistake of martyrdom. The galaxy is ancient. Civilizations rise and fall. You have found a weapon, yes, but we offer you place, peace, power. Nothing. The ship didn't flinch. Didn't speak. Didn't care. And for the first time, the voice hesitated. Onboard Antithesis. An interior light flicked on for the first time in hours. The pilot, unseen, untagged, unnamed, opened one eye. He didn't speak. He simply typed. One message, uncoded, undeniable. Your words died with your dreadnought. The voice froze. Then another message arrived. Same frequency. Different tone. We listened. We waited. We warned. You kept speaking. A third. Now it's our turn. And finally, audio. One voice. Male, young, cold. Send another diplomat. If you want, just know they won't come back. The voice backed away instinctively, a programmed reaction it had never performed before. In the council chamber, alarms finally started to sound. But not warnings, system logs. The Antithesis had just scanned the Empire's translation banks. It wasn't replying because it wanted to understand their language better. Is this psychological warfare? One counselor gasped. R7V shook. They're not using fear. They're using restraint. That's worse. Aaron whispered. They waited, and we broke first. Across the outer rim, 20 more ships activated. Not all human. Some were hybrids, built from junk, salvage, old alien tech reworked into deadly grace. All of them silent. All of them watching. And all of them bore the same mark. Nitrogen monoxide flags. Not Earth, not Mars, not any one faction, just humanity. Unified by fear, silence, and memory. Back aboard the Antithesis, the voice tried once more. We came to offer peace. A long pause. Then, finally, a message came back. So did we, a long time ago. And that was it. The voice retreated. Not destroyed. Not attacked. Just dismissed. Back in the hull of projection, The image faded. No flames. No threat. No dialogue. Just a ship, silent and still, floating in the void like a god that no longer needed to prove itself. Drawl stood trembling. They don't want war. They want ... nothing? No, Aaron whispered. They earned nothing. Because that's what we gave them for years. Disregard, mockery, silence. And now they return it, perfectly measured. The chamber dimmed. No. One dared speak for several minutes. Until finally, our 7V said what none of them wanted to admit. And for the first time in 12,000 years, they had no reply. The story races to its climax as the Galactic Empire's most populated world, Sirith Prime, watches the sky split. The war isn't declared. There is no transmission. There is no battle. Only human silence, precision, and retaliation. A lone survivor narrates the moment civilization blinked and how the galaxy learned too late that the warning had already come. The sky over Sirith Prime turned black at noon. Not clouds. Not warships. Not storms. Just absence. A rift wide and circular, opened like a pupil dilating, swallowing the twin suns behind a curtain of unnatural gravity. For 12 seconds, no one spoke. Children pointed. Adults froze. Weather systems collapsed. Artificial. Moons cracked from orbital stress. And in the center of the sky, a single black dot, unmoving, unseen by sensors, untouched by scanners. But every eye, organic and artificial, felt it. It was just one ship. Luna Varek, a former Empire diplomat, sat in her home sky garden, half-finished glass of orange frost wine trembling in her hand. She'd survived 5 rebellions, witnessed 6 peace treaties, but nothing felt like this. They're here, she whispered. Her partner, a xenobotanist, looked up from his soil samples. Who? She didn't answer, because she already knew. From orbit, military stations failed one after another, not destroyed, not corrupted. Disabled. Power. Grids reversed. Weapon bays refused to open. Defense AI shut down in recursive loop cycles, locked out by a single command string. Still speaking? The Empire never realized humanity had cracked their AI core protocols. Years ago. Not to destroy. To listen. And then, when ready, to turn it off. Back in a forgotten corner of Earth, deep beneath Greenland's post-ice thaw zone, an ancient chamber lit up. 10 screens. No controls. Just observation. Inside sat Commander Amin Idris, eyes sunken, body still. He didn't speak, didn't smile. Just watch the feed. Psi RITH Prime. Population 9.4 billion. Empire's crown jewel. No explosions. No speeches. Just ... silence. A different officer leaned into the mic. Sir, should we deploy Antithesis 2 and -3? Amin didn't look away. No, but they'll run before that. They didn't. On the surface, panic spiraled. People fled buildings. Shuttles clogged the skies. Broadcasts begged for answers or mercy, but no human message came. Only one display activated, visible in the sky, projected through an impossible wavelength. 5 words. This is your surrender point. Not our surrender point. Yours. The Empire had never been addressed this way, not even by their equals, because they had no equals. Until now, on board the Black Dot, the Antithesis. A girl no older than 20 sat cross-legged beside the command terminal. Her name was Lara Vale. She wasn't a soldier. She wasn't a general. She was a witness, born during the silence, raised in the archives, trained to remember instead of fight. And now she waited. The ship did not fire. Instead, it transmitted a single archival file into Sirith's primary data. Net.A recording. It was old, dull, crackling. A clip from before the silence. A council hearing. An Earth delegate pleading. We only request independent space. A corridor outside your patrol zones. We will not interfere. We will not expand. The reply from the Empire had echoed across the galaxy for centuries. You do not request, you comply. Then, silence. And then ... war. No declaration. No explanation. Just fleets. Just fire. And Earth fell silent for 19 years. Until now. Now the Empire's golden world trembled. No shots fired. Just the weight of shame collapsing in on itself. They had mocked Earth's silence. Now they understood it. Because it wasn't peace. It was preparation. Sirith Prime's planetary core shifted unnaturally. Not fractured. Relocated. A precision operation. Performed from orbit. Using quantum anchors developed during the silence. The planet wasn't destroyed. It was made empty. No death. No blood. Just the forced end of control. The Empire's crown world? Evacuated by physics. A message so advanced, it didn't require destruction to be understood. Irin, the counselor who once ordered the voice to negotiate, watched the broadcast. From the ruins of their war chamber, he whispered to no one. They didn't come for revenge. They came for memory. Behind him, a broken screen still flickered the phrase, "We were the warning." In deep space, the antithesis turned away. Sirith was done. The point had been made. Earth still hadn't responded. And that was the most terrifying part. Meanwhile, hidden beneath the radiation belts of a dead exoplanet, a third ship awakened. Smaller. Sleeker. Silent. Antithesis -3. No crew. Just one AI. Its name, Echo. Its first command. Listen. Its second. Wait. Its third. Forget nothing. And no one even saw the third ship.